Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Kid Icarus of Myth and Monsters for the Nintendo Game Boy. We're here on the last level in the Overworld, level 2-3. Now, I didn't get to point out last time, but see, one of the bad things about when you restart from a save is it doesn't save your life. So whenever you restart the game from a save, you're only going to start with one bar of life full, which can be kind of annoying, especially when you're trying to save your bottles. Usually, games sometimes usually nice. They usually provide a hot spring for you nearby, so you just gotta make it there without losing our bottle. Just to be safe, I want to have 8 bottles by the end of the game, the max. Got another treasure room here. Gotta consult the little guide, see where I have to shoot. What step I have to take. Consult it. Still not guaranteed though, like I said, to get what I need. Here we go. I beat the odds this time, and I got another bottle. Nice. So that's one little, basically all I really want from these treasure rooms now are bottles or the credit card to get a bottle. If I get a key, I'll basically just use the key to re-enter the room and do it again. Because there's no other room that I really want to re-enter again and redo other than treasure rooms. Fighting those bats for hearts isn't really hard effective, time effective, and I don't need to do more training because I already got those items. Because I've done all the training, you'll notice that any more training rooms that I go into now will just be blank, empty. I'll still be hitting all the rooms just to show them all off. Defeat enemy. And we got more bats. I like to max out my hearts eventually. I'll do it eventually in this playthrough. But I won't finish the game. Luckily, unlike the first game, that had multiple endings, and one of the conditions was having max hearts to get the best ending. In this game, you don't have to worry about the amount of hearts you have. And I took some damage there, so wasted a bottle that I had. Right before there's a chalice of wine there. Good thing those chalices, they respawn. So yeah, if I just would have lasted another hit, I could have got this chalice, and then got it again. No, let's spend my money on another bottle. Like I said, you can only carry one bottle unless you have the barrel. When the barrel, you can have a maximum of 8. You have another maximum you have is you can have 99 hammers. I don't know why you need that many hammers. I will, though, by the end of the game, though, buy a bunch of hammers. The final stage has a bunch of rooms that are hidden behind multiple walls. So you're going to need a lot of hammers to break through all those walls to get to those hidden rooms. It's not necessary to get to those rooms, though, because by the end game, if you've done all the training, you should have all the items you need. Bottles you need, so there's no need to try to find hidden shops. They actually give you a few of the training shops or training rooms in the final stage, so that if you didn't do enough training to get all the 3 treasures and thus be allowed to use all the 3 sacred treasures, you have no opportunities there to make up for lost ground. Interesting thing is, like I said, you're guaranteed to, they automatically give you the wings of Pegasus, which allow you to fly. So if you get to the last stage and you still need to do training to use other sacred treasures, you can cheese those training rooms by just using the wings of Pegasus to fly to the top of the screen, and that's where the battles, or those, not battles, they look like panes of glass that fly around and you have to hit. So there's a shopkeeper, and we managed to lower his prices there, so we managed to intimidate him. Basically cut his prices in half. He doubles them if you fail the intimidation check. Pretty intimidating. We've been defeating all the enemies we can, and we just got that new arrow upgrade. I tried it when I was doing like the test run, getting a power up an arrow and then using a key to go right back into the room to get a second power up, but never able to do it. So I don't know if it's locked. I just needed more points, or if it's locked, the game has a safety check that you can't get 2 power-ups in one level. I guess the only one to tell me to, well, I probably won't be able to tell. I was gonna say, sitting around and maxing out a whole bunch of score fighting enemies after you do your first visit. But your points don't get added here until the end of the stage, so it wouldn't matter. So I missed that last jump there, but if I would have made that jump, I would have got to the top. And right up there in the wall is where the goddess key is. That unlocks all the treasure, all the doors in the stage. So, like I said, there's no real reason to revisit, rooms. Speaking of rooms, you want to visit this room, get the pencil. And we just gotta find the checkbook and the torch. This fortress is much larger than, well, not too much larger, but this is bigger than the first fortress. To be expected, of course. There's the checkbook. Now you can see the map and the rooms we've been in. All we need now is the torch to let us know what room we're currently in. I will be visiting all the rooms though. Most of the rooms you'd be visiting anyway. It isn't until the third fortress, the Overworld Fortress, that you can really like cheese the going through it. I'll be going through the entire fortress just to show off all the rooms. But in the third fortress, there's actually 2 shortcuts you can take by getting turned into an eggplant. And I'll point them out when I get to that level. But yeah, then, 2 points where there's a small hole in a wall. If you're an eggplant, you can slide underneath it. So yeah, that's probably why they took away that, the ability, like in the first game, to duck and crawl across the floor. Because then those shortcuts would be available all the time, and you could skip so much of that fortress without intentionally taking damage and being turned into an eggplant. The good thing though is in both locations there's a hospital nearby, so if you get turned into the eggplant, you're not really sacrificing much, because pretty much as soon as you take the shortcut, you're going to find a hospital to turn you back into your regular form. Bottle. As you see, items are more expensive in fortresses than they are in the overworld. But, I mean, I'm in the shop, I'll also just save some time buying here. By the time you get to the final stage, it's so easy to host the final stage. Because by then most of the enemies are dropping half hearts, and even in the Sky Fortress, you get a lot of enemies dropping half hearts and full hearts. And like I said, at the end of the day, though, there's no real reason to max out all your hearts. It's not a requirement, like I said, for a better ending, and it's not one of the requirements to use the sacred treasures. Got hit by an eggplant. That's okay. We could use a shortcut down there if we wanted to. That'll get us to a hospital. Now eventually, if we would have not gone to the hospital here and went to the right, that would eventually take us to the path that we need to go to complete the dungeon. But because we were forced to take that shortcut and heal ourselves in the hospital, we gotta go around here a little bit to get to that room to the right that we would be going to. Surprised I usually have terrible timing to fall down and hit those guys when I try to fall down on the platforms there. But luckily they're like weak enemies, they don't take off a lot of health. And we'll get another chance at a hot spring before the boss. So the boss of the second level is going to remind me more of the boss of the third level, of the third fortress in the original game, Kid Icarus. Base game, the first fortress boss was Cerberus, then the second boss was King Hydra, a big snake, and the third enemy was Pandora, which was like a bubble that was surrounded by smaller bubbles, like a little bubble shield. In this game, we saw the Minotaur as the first boss. And this boss is going to be like a floating skull that kind of acts like Pandora. It flies around the room. Doesn't have the bubble shield, but it'll fly around the room, rain projectiles down on us. And the third fortress boss is a big, huge snake like King Hydra from the first game, the base game. I remember when I first heard about King or Medusa in the first game. My cousin Bill, he was the one who had a bunch of games before us, and he'd play the games and beat us and tell us hints about it and stuff. And he told us that he got to Medusa and beat her. And we're like, what was she like? And he was telling us that she shoots snakes out of her hair, and the snakes are as big as King Hydra. And I'm like, wow, like she's shooting snakes that are like as big as the second boss in the game. I was like, she must be really tough. Little did I know that you can cheese Medusa in the first game. You can look at my playthrough and see that. There's basically a spot in the room where you can hover, and you shoot Medusa. Your shield blocked all her shots, and snakes, even though they're as big as King Hydra, only take one hit with the light arrows to defeat. And they basically just fly into your arrows before they can reach you, as long as you're shooting consistently. So luckily our longbow here makes this battle a little bit easier. But right now he's basically in his first phase, where he's just floating around, lollygaggling, around. But after we hit him a few times, he's going to get angry, and he's going to speed up his flight around the room. He's actually going to start dropping fireballs, and then fireballs, when they hit the platform, they basically spread out and cover the entire platform, and you gotta wait for them to disappear. So basically like blocks you from using the platform for a little bit. I like to just stay in the room. See a little bit of the fireballs down there. There's one right there. I like to say just like kind of hang out in the middle of the room. If he shoots a fireball on the platform there, I can go to the left or the right. It's a little tougher to dodge fireballs on the base floor. And just hop over him as he comes around me. I am taking some damage and I've lost my longbow, but luckily we've been getting a lot of strength upgrades. Basically more strength upgrades, but the arrow upgrades. going to be as scary as the Minotaur, and we finish him off and get the second secret treasure, which are the light arrows. And we get to enter a new world, the Sky World, in the next episode. So make a save our game here, and I'll see you in the Sky World in the next episode. Take care, have a good one, see you then, bye.